But I do think Bayern Munich are a force to be reckoned with anyway, because everyone right now has ruled out Bayern Munich of being a contender for the Champions League. No one talks about Bayern winning it. But you know who is? Vincent Kompany, Harry Kane, Manuel Neuer.
Here it is, 104 matches to reach 100 goals, beating Cristiano Ronaldo and Erling Haaland by one match. And it is just absolutely impressive what he has continued to be able to do with Bayern Munich. The rate that he is scoring goals and hat tricks every single match, not even needing to play 90 minutes. How impressive is this, what he is doing right now currently?
I mean, obviously that record speaks for itself. I mean, Erling Haaland to do that in the Premier League is quite special, unique and different. Cristiano Ronaldo to do it with the pressure, obviously arriving in Madrid, that's unique, special and different. And then, of course, going to the Bundesliga, you would expect Harry Kane to score goals, but to score this amount of goals, I don't think anyone, even Harry Kane, would have expected to have gone as well as it has done. And Harry Kane has not necessarily always had to be at his best to be able to score goals in the Bundesliga. He's on fire right now. He's consistently scoring goals. The penalty kick record that you point out there, 27 from 28, that helps you get to these types of numbers because you need to be the penalty kick taker and you need to be able to have your opportunity to snatch the ball away from other players at a club like Bayern Munich and say, no, this is my role here at this football club. And I think why he's got to this number is because every single player around him has bought into Harry Kane. Bayern Munich know that they need Harry Kane to be scoring goals to be successful. And it's not just about Bundesliga success. Yes, last season, taking it away from Leverkusen. But I think it's also about what they do in European football as well. They need to feed Harry Kane. They need to make Harry Kane happy. They need to make sure Harry Kane is confident. If he's scoring goals, Bayern Munich always have an opportunity of cleaning up with trophies this season. He's been absolutely fabulous. He takes so many shots. He had 391 shots as a Bayern Munich player to reach number 100 in goals. I mean, just keep shooting, Harry. 1 every 4 is ending up in the back of the net. It's special, it's different, it's unique. And I'm going to be a little bit controversial and put you on the spot here because that's what I tend to do around here nowadays.
Yes.
I think he has an opportunity, if he continues to score goals like this, to break a Bundesliga record. And if he does it in the Champions League, and then he takes that form into the World Cup, Harry Kane, at his age of 32 now, has a chance of winning a Ballon d'Or. Am I right or wrong?
I think you're right. I was going to ask you that, does he have the opportunity to have the most important and best year of his footballing life? Because this team has a legit chance to win a treble this year. And if he continues that form, and England are in good form in the World Cup, he could continue it on and have success in the World Cup as well. I do think that he could be a favorite for Ballon d'Or. If he keeps this pace going, which is an incredible pace than what we're seeing, I do believe that he could be a candidate next season. My question back at you is, if he wins the Champions League this year, if he has a successful campaign with England in the World Cup next year, whatever that may be, whether that's a win, whether that's a semifinal, would you consider Harry Kane the best striker in English football history?
The best striker in English football history?
The best striker from England in England history?
Well, the biggest problem I've got with that question is you look through the generations. My hero was Alan Shearer watching the Premier League when I first began. He'll always be one of my heroes in learning what the Premier League was and what English football really meant to people at that time as it started to really flourish. Previous to that, Gary Lineker was a great goal scorer for England. Obviously, Wayne Rooney's had a recent England goal scoring record, but it's hard to bet against him when he's holding the record for the 3 lines with the amount of goals that he scored. Now, he's played a lot more games, and some of the opponents have been a lot easier for him in an England jersey. But what he's done at club football obviously is starting to be rewarded by this decision. It takes a brave person, Stefano, to decide to leave English football when you're chasing the potential record of being Premier League all-time top goal scorer, which Alan Shearer currently holds. And he decided to choose trophies and an opportunity to win and challenge for a Champions League away from the Premier League, away from Tottenham Hotspur where he made his name. And this is the reward he's given to Bayern Munich for the trust that they've given in him. And Bayern Munich are being rewarded as well because Harry Kane has given them and keeping them, in many ways, competitive. Without that striker, Bayern Munich would struggle. 100%. If you look through history, Lewandowski, you can go all the way through to Gerd Müller. There's always a number 9 who's a true relevant goal scorer for Bayern Munich. If you don't have it, Bayern will struggle, and that's what's happened to them. But it wasn't always easy for Kane, right? Playing for Tottenham, not getting a major trophy, disappointing. Playing for England, major tournaments, not getting a major trophy, disappointing. Now he's at Bayern Munich and he's got that Bundesliga title. I think there's more to come from him because that taste and that feel, once you get it inside your system, it's clearly something to build upon, and he's now got an appetite for more. Don't rule out Bayern Munich. They can win the Bundesliga title easily. They might win it by March.
Right. And if they do that, would you increase their odds or their chances of winning Europe, of winning the Champions League? Because they might not have to play Harry Kane and all of their superstars. Remember that Jamal Musiala will eventually come back into this team as well. They may be able to rest their players the last third of the season if they're able to wrap up Bundesliga. That, for me, makes them one of the favorites to win the Champions League if they're able to keep their players fresh for the European competition.
Listen, if you can beat the world champions, why can you not become the European champion? Of course they can. And I'm obviously joking. I understand that Chelsea were not necessarily the best on their night against Bayern Munich, and they made light work of Chelsea. But I do think that Bayern Munich have got the quality of player in their disposal who are performing well right now to really be a threat. I think Jamal Musiala would really help them. If you don't have him, obviously it hurts you a little bit. And maybe that's the one area where I think they have improved him, with Lucho Diaz coming through the door. He's been great. I'm hearing that his goal was taken away from him, by the way.
Yes.
They credited it back to Jonathan Tah. But we'll give it to Lucho because he touched it last. Congratulations to Tah. But I do think Bayern Munich are a force to be reckoned with anyway, because everyone right now has ruled out Bayern Munich of being a contender for the Champions League. No one talks about Bayern winning it. But you know who is? Vincent Kompany, Harry Kane, Manuel Neuer. I mean, they have got some greats, legends who are talking in the German media right now, laughing at everyone on the island, which they call England,
right,
on the island, because they make fun of Bayern Munich right now and the fact that there is a financial disparity between the Premier League and the Bundesliga. Write them out of your pearl. Yeah. They're a threat to be worried about.
Without a doubt. And they've, adding Lucho Diaz this year, I think was
good
absolute
addition.
Coup. Great addition, especially with Jamal Musiala out. They just have so much in attack. I would guess, if we have to play devil's advocate here just a little bit, I would say that maybe their depth could be an issue if there are more injuries.
Yeah.
They had, notably had to go out and sign Nico Jackson because they really didn't have cover for Harry Kane.
Right.
If he does indeed get injured at some point in the season, I would guess that's really the only thing that I look at this team and say, if there's a weak spot, maybe the depth and who they have on the bench isn't up to the level that Bayern Munich, that the starters are.
Well, the problem is with Bayern is that they're going to have to go back into the transfer window if they have a serious injury, right? And you have that winter period to be able to do it. But if it happens between December and the end of the season, the Bundesliga might already be wrapped up by then. So therefore, I think they'll take the Bundesliga very seriously. And I think they take domestic football seriously now, Bayern. They know how important it is to satisfy their fans. The European stage is where it's at. But I'm saying it right now. If Harry Kane scores at this rate, he will end up with 68 Bundesliga goals, which won't happen. But I think he could potentially break 50 Bundesliga goals. And if he does go on and score 13, 14, 15 Champions League goals and Bayern get into the final, not even win it, they get to the final and he scores 15. And then he goes on and has success with England. They get to a final. Maybe they don't win it. Bayern Munich is a Ballon d'Or candidate. Whether you love it or you hate it, I'm saying it.
Yeah, I'll agree. His over-under for goals before this match was 48.5 for the Bundesliga. 48.5.
Bring on 68.
And just gets a brace. So we're looking pretty good if you took that over.